Hello everyone, FrostCloud here on my Mr. Chaos the Cunning Wolf channel. The reason for that opening is I'm going to be reacting to something different. Well, not really different, it is MLP related, but what I mean by different is something interesting. Something that my good friend Ori Dreamcatcher, aka Cynthia, sent me this video that an anonymous friend of mine wanted me to check out. And just by the title and thumbnail alone, is it real? Just listen, there's a reason why I opened this video kind of looking down like that. This is not exactly something I was looking forward to, and I think I might actually do another update video explaining what's been going on. Like, all of this, it's clear that this anonymous friend of mine wanted to show me this video after a very bad quarrel we had. I'm not going to bother explaining what it is because it's a bunch of personal stuff. But, yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to try to get back into the mood. I'm going to be reacting to, as I said, Is It Real? Animated music video by a guy called Crown Prince, or Crone Prince. There's an E after the end, whatever. But I always like good animation, and I actually took a glimpse of the video, as I always do, before I reacted to it. Before I downloaded it for the reaction, and despite the subject matter, it looks pretty good. I'm sorry, I'm just really not looking forward to this. And I have other video ideas in my video ideas list anyway. It's still adding, so it's not like, you know, all the other videos after this one are going to be... I'm not going to drag this video down as much as I can. So, Is It Real? Animated music video by Crown Prince or Crone Prince or whatever. Without further ado, let's just get this shit on the road. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I find I can relate to this a bit because he's clearly working in retail, and even though I was recently let go from a retail position for unrelated reasons, it's not because I was a jerk to the customers or something, whatever, it was just unrelated, it's just work related. But I can relate to this so much, even in the good old days back in 2015. I remember when I worked at a Dollar Tree, and I actually became good friends with the manager because her son was a brony, so yeah, I remember those good old days. I honestly missed that job. I actually liked it. The store was small and everything. Okay. I just wanted to throw that in because I thought I could relate to that. I thought it was pretty awesome. Okay. Is that him older? Oh. Oh wait, that's his dad?
Is it real? Is it real?
So those are like Brony and Pegasus are friends. Is this why, you know, this anonymous friend of mine sent this to me because I can relate to this so much, or... Well, no, this is as a result of the quarrel, so... There's probably something touchy coming, so... Let's just face it head on. How much I wish I could do that.
This world can really be too much. I can't
it is.
I'm falling in and out of
I envision the world like that sometimes. This is funny. It's sad, but it's funny too. Is that supposed to be Gallus, or are these all OCs? I don't know why I think this is funny.
so sadly, what am I? What am I? So then I should
Okay, so he's a changeling now. Oh. Yeah, this is also kind of me. You know, when I see a character I can relate to.
It's really all become too much. I'm not sure what I should feel. I guess I finally had enough.
I mean, I'm sort of getting this, but what's the conclusion to this? Why does he look familiar to one of the characters from the Magic School Bus to me? I was pretty much my old manager there. I think I'm beginning to see what this is getting at here. Okay. Got one of those myself. Well, not one, two. Actually, three. Actually, no, I got one plushie up here, one plushie downstairs, and a figurine up here. Okay. To Crown Prince, or Chrome Prince, or however you're pronounced. Very, very well done on this. Animation was really good. Now, I'm going to be splitting this part of the video in, like, kind of two different sections, if you call it. This section, I'm just going to be saying what I just thought of the video and all, you know, just what I thought of it. And the second one is going to be me giving a sort of response to my anonymous friend. You know, kind of give my responses to some of the arguments symbolically presented in this video. So, first of all, this video, like I said, animation was really good. The song is... I don't think it's something I would really listen to outside of the video, like when I'm out for a walk, compared to Lullaby for a Princess or something like that. But it was interesting. It was one of those songs where it doesn't really feel like music. It just feels like an interesting noise that's meant to be put together with a... Well, maybe this song is meant to be like that. Maybe it's supposed to be a song where you're not really supposed to listen to it outside of the video. It's supposed to be accompanied with the video to sort of enhance the feel, you know, in order for the symbolism, the obvious symbolic messages in this video to get through to the viewer. So I can understand stuff like that, and it really goes well with this, and I feel I can relate to this video a lot. Like, not like the outcome, but just the guy in general. Like, I hope to work in retail again. Like I said, I honestly wish I could just get my old job at Dollar Tree back. I still have it, and I'm still good friends with the manager. I still have her contact and all. But not a lot of hours have been available, and ever since the closure of Sears, remember that? You know, the closure of Sears, that was a big thing. A lot of employees were let go. So I think that's the prime reason for that. She would like me back. Like, she did like the work I did. You know, I have OCD. I don't know if it's just part of being on the spectrum or something, but I have OCD, so I'm obsessed with things being clean and organized. Kind of the reason why I just finally snapped and I just did the... Let me move the camera. Kind of like why I finally snapped and I finally just did this corner. Before, you cannot see this corner at all. And here, it used to be closed all the way up to this poster right here I got in early January when I first got my copy of MLP the movie. And here is just for storage and all. It's just an old computer I just have up here for some reason. I'll probably get rid of it someday. But my point is, as I was saying, I have OCD, so I'm obsessed with things like, you know, cleanliness and organization and being tidy, so... She liked the work I did, you know, she liked that everything was evenly placed and all. And she wanted me back, you know. I first was introduced to the place, it was the first job I had, but I was introduced to the place, like back in 2015 when I was in some sort of work program. And I actually got an actual job out of it. She wanted to give me some shifts. And hasn't been able to, but I am still in contact with her and we are still good friends, so. But yeah, I feel I can relate to that. And... yeah, the home part. I can tell that was probably either his roommate or his dad. It could have very easily been his dad, because the main character here obviously looks younger, and the dad has like a beard, a little fade, so could be his dad, or just could be a younger roommate that maybe he just shaved or something, but could very well be his dad. And I feel I can relate to that a bit. My dad is not under the roof because, as you probably all know by now, my parents are divorced and all, and it's the reason why I'm like this. But, like, my mom is here, and I'm not really exactly the same with her. I don't just pass her, like I say, hey, what did anything happen today? So I haven't developed like that kind of not really hatred, but uncaring, if you'd call it, you know, of doing that. We do argue sometimes. It's unrelated. It's not related to the divorce. It's just other things. But we do argue about things, and it's something that I'll actually explain in another video on the subject. But we do get along, so I don't exactly relate, but I do relate a bit. Because whenever I'm in a bad mood or something, or whenever I'm like wishing I could be in Equestria or something, or that my life just in this world could end, you know, sometimes I just ignore people because I just don't want to talk to anybody. And I'm pretty sure all of you have experienced the same thing growing up, or maybe even now. Maybe you're having a bad day or something. I feel like I can relate to a lot of things, especially the whole seeing the changeling thing, even though it was symbolically representing, oh, you can meet someone who's like you in real life. And my mom even annoyingly uses this argument when I say, oh, I don't ever want to get in an intimate relationship. Well, she's like, well, maybe you can find a girl out there with the same characteristics as Twilight or Tempest or Applejack or something. Yeah, Applejack. I'm planning on making a video about that soon. But, you know, despite how annoyed I am at hearing that argument and all, I understand what that's meant to represent, but what I'm saying is, when he saw the changeling, when he saw him in changeling form, I'm like, oh, I can relate to this so much. This was basically me when I first saw Tempest in, like, MLP the movie in, like, late 2017 in a nutshell. I instantly connected with her. I liked her voice, and I liked her backstory, how it was somewhat similar to mine. So yes, I can definitely relate to that. I think that's really all I have to say. Very good symbolic, you know, representing, you know, arguments and, like, you know, subjects and everything. Even though I don't agree with all of them, like, production-wise, this is really, really good. I wouldn't say it's, like, anything to the level of, like, Lullaby for a Princess, not by a long shot. But this is definitely good. This is definitely something I am going to remember in sort of like my internal history of like being a brony, if you'd call it. Anyway, so to Crown Prince or whatever, very, very good work on this. And now for the second and final section of this part of the video. Anonymous friend, I see what this video is trying to say and all. It's pretty much enhanced version of that argument again that my mom uses with me and some other people use with me, that you can meet people in real life with the same characteristics, or you can meet a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you want. Went over and over, and the reason why I'm saying this openly is because I'm very blunt about things like this. I have repeatedly told them, including my mom, that, look, my interest in humans is gone. You have the divorce to thank for that, and I don't think I even need to explain to them over and over, because I said even the thought of like two humans being intimate or like having sex, all that reminds me of is my dad, who obviously divorced my mom and got remarried and started another family, and yeah, I don't even want to think about that, but that's what it reminds me of. So that's why I kind of reoriented myself to like the things I like now, you know, like clop and like furry stuff and stuff, because it's different. You know, the visual aspect can mean all of the difference. Like, you know, you'd be surprised how it can make a difference. Like, you know, just change the tone from like a white skin color or black skin color and make it like something new, like blue or purple like Twilight, or I don't know, orange like Applejack or something, I don't know. And it can be very different. It can be feeling like you're starting anew, you know, you're starting a new leaf, you know, you're different, just like all the others who decided to be different just like you, and that's how you start a community. And I've been asked this in an interview I was recently involved in with Shelly D, and in case you're wondering, no, that's not the reason why I'm all depressed here, you know. I've even said in a last stream I was in with a guy named Stalin, I think he was an associate or friend. He said he wasn't a friend of his, but just someone who knew him. But I told him, no, I want to put this all behind me, I want to move on. Which is what exactly I've done. I have never come into contact with them again, you know, never said anything more, just back to normal business like here. And their point basically was, well, if you're not into humans, then wouldn't friends be the same thing? And my answer to that, and I'll repeat it here, is no, I don't mind having humans just as friends, like, just nothing sexual with them, just mutual friends. and I pretty much save all the feelings of, like, sex drive and arousal for pretty much just the clop and the yiff. Like, again, I've, like, reoriented myself. I've kind of, like, reprogrammed myself because I don't want to be associated with the quote-unquote normal world of getting a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. And also, to my anonymous friend, I've been wanting to say this. I've only said it to other friends, but, and this is not out of hatred for you or something, but it is out of annoyance of how dumb said argument was. You told me that, and this video kind of says the same thing in some way, in a symbolic way, that, there's a difference between online friends and real-life friends. And I know that's horseshit, ironically, because you literally proved yourself wrong. I remember so vaguely in that call, I said, okay, well, if you're a firm believer in that, then would that other anonymous ex-friend of mine, you know, who used to be my friend in that video I made about, you know, like, relationships and explaining the whole falling out situation, do you think he would have had to have said differently then? Like, let's say we were at a coffee shop, and I told him, well, I just don't agree with second relationships. Do you think he would say, oh, well, it's alright, dude, I respect your opinion? Or do you think he would flip out in real life as well? Guess what his response was? It was, he'd probably tell you to go fuck yourself and probably throw the coffee in your face or something. And I'm like, congratulations, you just proved yourself wrong. I mean, I didn't say that out loud, but, you know, I said it in my head because, like, that argument is just maddening. Like, you just proved yourself wrong. I can't even speak. This is taking the words out of me. There's absolutely no difference between people online and people in real life. They're all humans. They're gonna act the same. And we can turn on our webcams too, so we don't have to be looking at our characters. We can just be looking at each other. So, I don't know if he was just having a bad day. And again, this isn't out of hatred, it's just annoyance and frustration, but at least you're not saying that I need to get laid like Shelly D and the other guys did. At least you have the courtesy to do that. And I remember him bringing up a point that your life isn't over outside the Brony fandom, or you have a lot more to live for, or whatever he was saying. It was something along those lines, I know that for sure. And I keep telling him, well, you know my life already ended in 2013 when this whole divorce thing was at its peak, and I knew there was nothing I could do. And I even told him the whole story. And I've told you all the story for all the regulars here, for all of those who have been here for years. You all know the story. Before I discovered MLP and the Brony fandom, I was making plans to kill myself. I seriously was. Like, I just couldn't take it anymore. I hated every day of school, and, you know, I hated the fact that this whole divorce thing was still going on and nothing was happening about it. So I decided, you know what? If I don't have a say in this, you know, if I'm just an inferior child who doesn't have a say in whether he can have, like, a normal life or something, then really, why would you care if I were to go? And I still feel the same way, because in another video I'm going to be explaining why I kind of feel alone now. Like, I feel like no side of my family is any better than the other, but that's a subject for another time. My life outside of the fandom is over, okay? Like, it even shows whenever I'm going out for a walk or whenever I'm going to work. I only put on a happy face for, like, customers and, you know, whatever, if they're asking me where something is, or, like, when I used to be working at that pharmacy, you know, as a cashier, I would always, like, put on a bit of a smile. Like, one time it did slip, you know, a young female was there, and she was like, you okay? And I didn't really respond much. It was literally on the same day that, my best friend, you know, the bear is lazy, told me that he was finished with me, so of course I wasn't feeling all the way there that day, and, you know, she didn't go to the manager and say, oh, that's f***ing unprofessional or something. Like, I know the majority of people aren't like that. Like, what kind of outdated person says that anyway? But, you know, as I've been a customer, obviously, like, I've been shopping before, so she would have had the right to say something, well, not exactly that, but something close to that, like, well, you do need to... I wouldn't have blamed her if she said something like, well, you need to have a better attitude for the workplace, but no, you know, she was like, I understand how it feels, to come to work, kind of feeling that way, and I kind of nodded my head in kind of agreement and understanding, so, but it shows whenever I go out, and it's the reason why I love to wear hoodies whenever I go out and always have the top over even in the summer, because I don't want to come to the risk of anyone asking me out or something like, and my mom has actually asked me before, like, okay, well, if you're really like this, then what would you do if some girl or guy asked you out for a date? What if a gay person found you attractive? And I wouldn't have minded that either, because, I am 50-50 bisexual anyway, so I wouldn't even care. If, just some human approached me, like, asking me out, I told her I would just politely say, I'm sorry, I'm unavailable. I'm flattered that you find me attractive, I guess, but, I'm just not available. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to continue your hunt, and if they're persistent, well, you know what you do, you press charges. But it just shows outside of the fandom. When I'm in the fandom, I'm past, well, I mean, not as much as before, but that's just things beginning to take their toll on me. But the bottom line is, when I'm in the fandom, I'm, thriving, I'm looking forward to what's coming next, or, I've made some of my, even now with some of my newer friends, I've made some of my closest friends through this fandom, and you can't go saying, oh, well, they're not real friends because they're not in real life. Dude, you just proved yourself wrong. You literally just said that anonymous ex-friend would have still probably flipped me off if I told him how I felt about relationships. So that just goes to show that there's absolutely no difference between humans in real life and on the internet, alright? We all breathe, we all eat, we all we all piss, it's all the same thing. But basically, right now, all I prefer to hear is either voices. Like, I don't mind, some days a good old webcam call. Like, I remember back in the days I used to do those very, very often, until I just got used to, like, voice calls where you see, like, the profile, icons and everything, and the names and everything. I still do have a friend, GameCube Dude 200, who I still usually do webcam calls with, so it's not like I'm not used to it. The bottom line is, yes, as I've said before, my life is over outside of the fandom, but you can at least take solace in the fact that the show obviously isn't going to be ending anytime soon. I've heard rumors that this year, Season 9 is supposed to be the last one, even though I don't really want to believe it. But I've heard that a reboot's going to be coming, and we all know the reputation of reboots nowadays, so I'm not really... My hopes aren't exactly high on it, but I am going to check it out when it comes out next year. I am looking forward to the prequel movie when it comes out. And I hear there's supposed to be a sequel to MLP the movie that's supposed to be, like, previewing or showcasing what Generation 5 is going to look like. I don't even f***ing know, but I don't even want to think about it. But you can take solace in the fact that the end for me is not going to be anytime soon. I still have a few more years, and in that time, like I said before, I've come to realize that neither side of my family is as good as the other, meaning, yes, my side of the family, my mom's side of the family isn't as good as my dad himself, and I'll be explaining that in a future video. So I feel alone anyway, so I feel like, even though they keep saying, oh, but it would really hurt us if we were to go, I'm an evil atheist who doesn't agree with, divorce, and who doesn't want to get laid like all the other guys or whatever, so the f*** do you need me for? Like, you wouldn't feel a thing, don't lie to me. Just in general, to my anonymous friend, I don't hate you. I'm not trying to have a falling out with you or something. I'm not trying to chase you away or something. But what I'm saying is, and while I like this video and all, the only thing I liked for it is, like, the music, which, again, isn't something I'd really listen to outside of it, but the animation and the relatability. But I'm just saying the messages here I don't entirely agree with. And I'm not trying to stop people from being, social, other than me. Like, if you still like humans, like, if you still, like them to be friends with them more in real life rather than online, or if you still like them enough to want to get in a relationship with them and, have sex with them and all, then fine, whatever. I mean, just as long as it's a first relationship, like, you're still in my good books. But to my anonymous friend, please understand that I am not going to be bowing down anytime soon, and I mean that in a symbolic way. I'm not going to be bowing down to the ways of this world. I'm not going to be bowing down to the people who say, oh, you need to get laid, or oh, you need to have more friends in real life, or even the people in my family who say, oh, we care about you, you know, we have an unconditional love for you, even though we dismiss everything you say as an atheist. And to you guys in general, I didn't mean for this to get serious. I realize this part of the video, even when it'll be edited, it's going to be way longer than the actual reaction itself, but that's why I made these two sections after the video individual, so... And I'm not exactly looking forward to what will be coming up after this video. I don't know if any more of Shilly D's fans are going to be, you know, asking me again to get on. Like, if they will, I'm just going to be refusing and just ignoring them. But most of all, I do hope that this does not shoot down my friendship with you, anonymous friend. Like, again, I'm not hating you. I don't hate you or anything. I'm just really annoyed with these arguments because I've already said why they don't work and why I am not going to be bowing down to the ways of this modern society, you know, accepting things like, you know, divorce and like second relationships and just all of that. I'm not going to be over tolerant. Like, I remember somewhere there was a line in Friendship University, I don't know if they covered it in an episode other than that, but I think the moral went along with there's a time to tolerate or, you know, admire, but there's also a time to talk sense.
When to support your friends' decisions and when to talk sense.
Well, I find things like second relationships and divorces and everything is definitely a time to talk sense, but, you know, gay people and, you know, other things on the other end, like, that's to be tolerated, because really, this world is overpopulated anyway, so what harm can they really do? Okay, but I didn't mean for this to sound all political, because I'm not even political anyway. Like, I'm just a guy who just is all about, like, common sense and morals. I'm not all about, like, who's in office or, where are we gonna riot, like, all that stuff I've heard about. And before I bring this video to a close, I remembered one more point that I would like to bring up with this anonymous friend of mine, and to all the people who hosted, like, the stream in case they're watching. There is no point in me going back to therapy, because the type of person I am, I'm actually gonna say this in a different way, I'm the type of person who will only invest his time and money into something if it's going to be useful in some way. Just venting to somebody about a problem is not a solution. I can do the same thing with friends. And before you use the whole argument, oh, well, they're trained and all, yeah, that's nice and all, but where is the part where they help my parents get back together? Where's the part where, you know, they... You know what I mean? Like, it's just common sense. Like, where's the part where the problem at hand actually gets solved? It's basically like telling a victim that they're at fault for what happened to them. I mean, it's fucking stupid. Like, the bottom line is, if it's not actually helping me solve my solution at the end of the day, then why purchase money to, you know, set up an appointment? And I know you're gonna say, oh, well, the help that they're giving you is to help you, like, get past this and all. Really, that argument can be summarized up to, oh, they're just gonna keep sweet-talking you and, like, blowing smoke up your ass until you eventually bow to the quota and the ways of the modern generation of accepting things like, you know, divorces and second relationships and, you know, people who are different in a bad way that's affecting people in a negative way. And I'm like, nope, that's never gonna happen. I don't care if you rule the world or something. Well, oh f***ing well, I'm just gonna have to be one of the people you end up executing in the forest or something. But yeah, unless said person can actually help me resolve the issue, you know, thoroughly, rather than sweet talking and, you know, making as if the situation isn't as bad as it is, I'm not gonna waste my time or money on it anyway. Besides, I have other things to be worrying about anyway, so I don't need to be wasting my time on people who are just going to avoid the issue, not help me solve it, while at the same time, basically propagating me, you know, how I should be in this generation, but in a way that I can't see it, you know, in a way that, you know, I'm thinking, oh, that's actually helping a person, or, oh, this is actually gonna help me. But no, I've become smarter than that. I can see through that. You know, I know, no, you're not trying to help me, you're just trying to turn me into them. So, yeah, but okay. For real this time, this video is coming to a close. I didn't mean to make this long. I really should have saved this all for the update video, but I kind of go off the handle. I'm gonna edit this down as much as I can because I always proof watch the entire video before I upload it. I'm really sorry about that, guys. Even to my subscribers, you know, you didn't have to be seated for this long. I'm pretty sure at this point, well, no, I would have uploaded this by tomorrow, so it'll be Sunday, but even on a weekend, you know, you shouldn't have to spend this much time on a video, even though it's not a school day, but okay, I've ranted on enough. So, in summary, this was a good video. I could relate to it a lot. Didn't agree with the symbolic messages in it, but I thought it was a very well done video production-wise. To my anonymous friend, I do not hate you. I wouldn't say I'm angry at you, but I'm a bit annoyed. But if you want to approach me to say something, or maybe just put the final nail in the coffin or something, you know what, whatever. Like, if you're just going to propagate to me, or just say, oh, you need to get out there, like that even makes a difference over and over, then really you're going to give me no choice but to, at the end of the day, say, you know what, just f it all, you know, you've been, you know, good before, but I don't know what happened to you. Like, when I first met you, you were this soft-spoken, brony YouTuber I knew who did, you know, analysis videos, reviews, and you had that fatherly voice, you know? You didn't really seem like the type of person who would, like, fly off the handle or even use any profanity, like, you know, I thought you were kind of like Dr. Wolf. That's the reason why I thought you were related to Dr. Wolf when I first met you. Because, you know, you're so, like, kind-hearted that way. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna turn this into some sort of bromance speech or something. But I hope you guys somehow enjoyed this video or took something away from it. I'll just end this now. So, my name is FrostCloud. Thank you all for watching, and you have a good day.